fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today for this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you're working on and work alongside while I chat, or alternatively, you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. Today, I'm going to be working on my Rainbow Dragon Hugging Cat. This is the kit that I am doing for both DP for Pets for June and also for Pride for June. So let me zoom in to where I'm going to be working and I will be right back. Okay, the way that I have my stuff set up may seem a little bit crazy, but that's because I've decided that I'm going to do the outside. So on the picture you can see I've done most of the pink. I'm now up into the yellow. I've done the purple and I'm a little bit into the blue on this side. So I'm just going to do this section here of the top around, and then I can do all the dragon and fill everything in. I've been kind of doing the black outlining as I go. So like right here, I'm going to outline this, but I'm not going to fill in this pink color. I'm going to do all the filling in after I get some of this done. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how this goes because I'm having to put all my cover sheets on in really funky ways, and so we'll see once I get around the outside how it's going and if that's going to be the plan for the whole thing. Anyway, so now that you all know what the plan is, let's jump into what's going on in my regular life. Well, not a ton since the last time I talked to you guys. It is now officially June, which means, like it did at home, that we now have June bugs. However, the June bugs here, oh my goodness. The June bugs in Kansas are the size of a dime, maybe. They have hard little shells and they're disgusting and I hate them, but they're usually only out at night. So I try to remember to leave, like, we didn't have our porch lights on, that sort of thing, so they wouldn't congregate around the lights. They're kind of like moths in that way. Here, they're the size of a quarter. They look more like a cockroach and ugh. And we've had some bugs in the house. They have these weird bugs. They look like giant ants, but I've been told they're not ants. I don't know what they are, but I don't want them in my house. I told my husband, I've seen 3 bugs inside the house. That's my limit. We either have to move or we have to get an exterminator. He just laughs at me and kills the bug, but I'm going to have to do something because I just can't handle it. We did get some of our stuff planted in our planter. We went and bought some lettuce and we've got some peppers and a couple of tomato plants planted. So we'll see how they do. We've also got some different kinds of lettuce that hubby started in, like little seed starters that are starting to sprout, so we may get those planted as well. And I still want to go plant some more sunflowers in the front yard. I need to get that done as well. We did also finally get some stuff moved. When we bought our new bed, we got the king size bed because of the dogs. We decided we were just going to put our queen size bed downstairs in the basement in case we ever needed it for anything. The mattress has been sitting upstairs because we had to kind of muscle it down the stairs, both the stairs from our bedroom and the stairs down into the basement. And we got a cover for it, so it's like a waterproof cover that you zip it up into, so it shouldn't get damp or moldy or anything down there. So hubby and I muscled it down the first set of stairs, and then the youngest and he muscled it down into the basement. But it had been sitting up at the top of the stairs for so long that I kind of forgot what our house looked like, what our bedroom looked like without it up there. So now that room seems huge because the mattress is out of the way, which of course, of course it does. But it's funny how you just get used to seeing that kind of stuff and you kind of go, what is that commercial, like Febreze commercial? You go nose blind, but instead of nose blind, it's like you go eye blind to it. Like hoarders don't realize what their houses look like to other people because they can't see it. I was really enjoying the pink on this, but I'm glad I've moved to a different color now. Just one color, well, I guess it was like 3 or 4 different colors of pink, and there's still some more right here. And some of these colors I feel like I'm getting low on, like that's all I've got left of this color. But I think this little section here may be one of the last places I use it. So hopefully I'll have some leftovers to put in my leftover specialty stash, which I didn't even get out for this kit because I figured there was enough in this one. But I have found that I do feel better doing the black outlining just because I feel like a lot of the black is already going to be done. Not the internal lining, but at least the outside black outlining should be done so that I don't have to do so much of it all at once. What else did we do this week? Hubby has spent quite a bit of time washing the cars because we apparently have either angered the geese or the seagulls that fly over our house, or we just have had a ton of seagulls and geese flying over our house because every time we go outside, there's fresh bird poo on the cars. And not just in one or two spots. Hubby had 7 different spots on his car this morning. I'm like, well, you must not be putting enough bread out for them or doing something. We've angered the bird gods. So he was out washing the cars earlier today. Thankfully, he did fix the leak that was in the faucet that ran from the basement to the outside water hookup, so no flooding in the basement this time while he was power washing stuff. Although he was power washing the front of the house, and when we moved in, he had gone through and replaced all of the outside sockets, electrical sockets, because they weren't the right ones. So he put in the right ones, and then he's sitting here power washing the front of the house, and it's right on the other side of the sunroom where I am. He's power washing the windows. I can hear him, and suddenly, click, he blew a breaker. So somewhere between that outlet and somewhere in the basement, the breaker blew, and it wouldn't come on for a while. So I ended up having to stop diamond painting while we waited for the switch to, I guess, the water to evaporate or whatever it was. He needs to go down and look now because, like, right now we don't have any wood in the basement, so none of that wall is covered up. So this would be a good time to figure out what it is that's causing it to do that before we order more wood and get everything covered back up, because that's another chore that we didn't order enough wood last winter, so we're going to need to order more. And we had basically our entire basement full and some stored outside, and we still didn't have enough. So see, this one was almost full when I very first started, so that's how much. There's like maybe this much in it now, and it was almost completely full when I started. Same with a couple of the other ones. Now I get to start working on all of the yellows. See, they were this full when I started, so I've got like 3 or 4 different yellows I'm going to be using up. Oh, you guys would have laughed too. Hubby and I went walking on one of the beaches here a couple days ago, and we went over and sat down on a piece of rock, and on a piece of rock, there somebody had found like an old rusted piece of iron or something. And so we were laughing and joking about, hey, we found a piece of iron like they do on Oak Island. The outside was all orange and rusty, and I was like, well, I'm going to break this off. What's inside of it? Of course, I start clanging it against the boulder I'm sitting on, and it starts breaking apart. And inside is just a rusty piece of iron. What I didn't realize was that as I'm sitting there, I'm getting the orange flaky iron rust all over my hands. And then as I was getting the pieces of it to come off, all of a sudden I realized I was getting the oil from the inside, the grease from the inside of whatever it was, all over my hands as well. So I'm sitting there with orange and grease all over my hands, and with my knee, I can't get down to the water. We don't have any like wet wipes or Kleenex or anything with us. I finally found a Kleenex in one of my pockets, and hubby got it wet, and I'm trying to clean off all of this grease and everything with seawater, which did not work, but I was laughing. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about getting this all over my hands. I did eventually get back home so I could wash my hands, but hubby got a good chuckle over me, being like, oh no. I was so busy trying to be cool like Oak Island people. We also took the dogs to the vet this week. So Sable went on one day and Oscar went on another. Next time we'll take them both at the same time. Now, I could have sworn when we went in, right after we got them, the vet told us that we needed to come back in April to get their vaccinations done. No, apparently we just needed to come in April to get them on some flea and tick medicine, which is fine. I was planning on doing that anyway. But oh my gosh, you guys, it's been so long since I owned a dog, and our dogs were little. Our previous dogs were 2 little miniature dachshunds, or dash hounds as they call them here. We got 6 months worth for Sable and 6 months worth for Oscar. Now, Oscar's were a little bit cheaper because he's a smaller dog, but oh my goodness, just the pills alone, and it's a flea and tick and heartworm prevention med. So I don't think they could do all of those together when I had my other dogs. I think it was just flea and tick. But anyway, when I was taking my little dachshunds, it was usually around $800 for the both of them. And that was for them to get a heartworm test, get all their vaccines, and get 6 months of whatever flea and tick prevention we had them on. So I budgeted about the same amount. Just the flea and tick medicine was almost $300 for both of them. I mean, each. So $600 total just in flea and tick medicine. And we didn't even really see the doctor, so we didn't get charged a consult fee, which they said was almost $100, and we didn't get any vaccinations for them. So roughly $800 just for them to draw some blood, do a heartworm test, and 6 months of the medication for each of them. That is crazy, you guys. We left, and I was like, my husband had gone out to the car with Sable on the first visit, and I was like, after I almost swallowed my teeth when she told me it was going to be almost $400, and I was like, but we didn't get any vaccines. She's like, yeah, that's just for the blood draw and the test and the flea and tick med. I was like, okay. So I go out and tell my husband, get how much do you think it costs? And he's like $50. And I was like, you're hilarious. No. And then he about swallowed his teeth when I told him how much it was. No wonder people don't have very many pets. Too expensive. And I have looked at getting health insurance for the dogs, but for one dog, it's $200+ a month. Well, I can't spend $400 a month in insurance premiums. We just can't. We don't have that kind of money. While I know we run the risk of having some big bills down the line, that's just how it's going to have to be because it's crazy to me how much insurance up here is. And I mean, I've looked at like 3 or 4 different companies and they're all the same. It was pretty funny on the way back from the vet. On the way there, we had both the dogs in the back seat. So it'd be hubby and I in the front seat and the dogs in the back seat. And Sable and Oscar were both whining all the way to the vet. Sable whined all the way home. Well, when we took Oscar to the vet, I went outside with him and got in the car with him. And because hubby was still inside, because we were waiting for the results of the heartworm test so they could give us the heartworm meds to see which ones he needed. They were both negative, so we didn't need any special medication for them, but I put Oscar in the passenger seat next to me. He immediately stopped whining and shaking and shivering, and he's just sitting there looking out the window, just happy as a clam. So when hubby got done inside, he came back out and he got in the back seat so that Oscar could stay in the front seat. And Oscar was so good all the way home. He didn't whine or complain or bark or anything. He just was completely happy sitting there looking out the window. So I told hubby from now on he gets to ride up front because that makes him way less annoying. Okay, I think the last thing that I have to tell you guys about our regular lives is that I'm a horrible aunt. I forgot that my nephew's birthday was coming up. He sent me his birthday list like a couple of months ago. I think I told you guys about it then. But time got away from me. I've had some other things going on, and I realized, oh no, his birthday's like coming up really soon, and I forgot to order anything. I also constantly forget we don't have Amazon Prime in the US anymore because we switched our Prime account to Canada because this is where we are. So I don't get 2 day shipping anymore, which I always forget when I go to order stuff. So I usually get free shipping because I spend enough, but I don't get the 2 day shipping anymore. So I had to send him a text message and be like, I'm so sorry. I forgot your gifts are going to be a little bit late. And I texted my sister and told her the same thing because his birthdays are a really big deal for him. I didn't want him to be upset. And she's like, no, it's no big deal. He's more worried about making his birthday memorable than anything else, than opening gifts and stuff, which usually it's all about the gifts. So I guess he's growing up a little bit. But I guess I said to her, how is he going to make it memorable? Well, they're having a family game night. And I was like, well, that sounds like fun. I don't know what games they're going to play, but it sounds like fun. So hopefully his gifts show up not too long after his birthday. He collects Funko Pops, so he always sends me a list of whatever ones he doesn't have that he really wants. And he tries to keep it separate so that he doesn't give me the same ones that he gives to anybody else so that we don't accidentally duplicate anything. He's very organized and on top of it when it comes to his Funko Pops. He's got a spreadsheet with all of the ones that he has and everything, so, which I guess I shouldn't make fun of. I have a spreadsheet of all my diamond paintings. I have more than one spreadsheet of all my diamond paintings, if I'm honest. All right, I think that's everything I wanted to tell you guys about my regular life. So let's move on to my diamond painting life. What's been going on in my diamond painting life? Well, again, not a ton. I actually have been working on this kit, and I do feel like I'm making some really good, quick progress. Amazing how that happens when you actually routinely sit down and work on something. But it's going pretty well. I'm enjoying, there's lots of multi-placing on the outside. So I'm enjoying going through and doing all the multi-placing. And then I'm looking forward to, like I said, once I get into the middle here, I'll just be working on the dragon part of it and I'll have all of this kind of background stuff done. Just pretty much a quiet week at home for us. We watched a bunch of the Blue Jays games. There's a Formula One race today, so hubby got to see a bunch of the stuff leading up to that. It's in Monaco, which is one of his favorite ones to watch. So, and then we realized the CFL game started. And we hadn't realized it. So he yesterday was going back and watching some of the games that he missed on Thursday and Friday night. So lots of sports watching in our house, but that's okay. Okay, I'm getting off track. Diamond painting stuff. Okay, so I've seen several different things. So if you guys have seen or know anything about any of these, feel free to comment below and share anything that you know because I'm always curious and I seem to be the last one in the loop, which is mostly my fault because I don't follow a bunch of people, but I'm just avoiding the drama. But if there's anything important going on, I'd like to know. So like I got an email from Jaded Gem Shop saying that they're working on new 25 facet drills. So hers are going to be even more sparkly. So I'm curious. I've never actually done a Jaded Gem Shop. I do have a kit from her, but I haven't ever done one of hers. I keep thinking I should go back and buy a smaller one, but shipping is such a pain right now. I think she does drop shipping so that it wouldn't be such a huge deal for me to get it in Canada, but just haven't done it. Anyway, so I'm curious if anybody knows what that's gonna look like. Has anybody seen any prototypes of it or what they're gonna look like, that sort of thing? Inquiring minds. And then I saw another streamer who was doing a post-completion review. They had a kit that they had finished and they were doing their post-completion review of it, which, okay, great. I do post-completion reviews, but mine are maybe 10, 15 minutes at the most. This one was like an hour and 15 minutes long. And I was like, what are you talking about for an hour and 15 minutes? Like, are you going through every single color and how many of each drill you had left? Like, what takes an hour and a half? Am I missing something? Is there something I should be including in my post-completion reviews that I'm not? An hour and 15 minutes just blew my mind. I was like, I don't think I could talk about it that long, even if I wanted to. I don't know what I would say. So yeah, if I'm missing something, leave me a comment below. If you're happy with mine being 10 to 15 minutes, let me know that too. So I'm working on Rainbow Dragon. Like I said, this is my kit for our June DP for Pets Diamond Paint Along, but also it's doing double duty for Pride Month. Because there is a lot of multi-placing, I'm hoping that I can get this one done pretty quickly. And then once I'm done with this one, I can go back to Benedict Blue and try to get Benedict Blue finished because I would like to finish that one as well. And then depending on what kind of time I have after that, maybe I would be able to also do slow jazz, something else I would love to get to and just haven't had the opportunity yet. Again, mostly my own fault because I'm just been super slow at things, but hopefully things are going to be getting better here. And then sort of along the lines of inquiring minds, someone made a comment that they've never been able to do an Oraloa kit. They didn't say why, but I was just curious. It got me to thinking, Are there places that you would like to be able to do a kit from that you've never been able to do? I can't say that I'm in that situation, but I know when hubby was working, he was making nice money and I could buy pretty much what I wanted as far as diamond paintings went and bought way more than I should have, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, I got to thinking, are there places out there that people haven't bought from and why? Like, is it just the cost of the kits? Because I know that a lot of people will say that some of the premium companies are just too expensive, and I get that. Not everybody's in the same financial situation. But is it just the price of the kits, or is it the price of the kits would be okay, but by the time you add in shipping to wherever you live, does that make it cost prohibitive? Like, is it just the cost of the kit, like I said? Or does the company not ship to your location? I know I've run into that a couple of times, that especially with some of the situations going on, that people are just like, no, I'm not going to ship there anymore because you can't guarantee what costs are going to be. And I get that as a business owner. You don't want to irritate people by having something cost more than they think it's going to, but you also don't want to irritate people by not selling to them. So, what do you do? Anyway, so leave me a comment down below and let me know if there's a place that you would like to do a kit from but haven't been able to up to this point. I'm also looking for like new places. I've seen so many new shop names recently, and I'm like, is this place any good? Like, I've seen a couple people doing kits from Feel Look Art, or Feel Look, however they say it. I did go out and look. It looks like most of their stuff is AI, except for they do have like some old masters stuff, and I think one or two other artists that had actual artist names on them. But I want to know the quality before I order some of these, you know? Also, if some of them are in the US, I might not be able to buy from them. Like, I've heard good things about, I think it's called Ever After. I know there's a place on AliExpress called Ever Moment. It's not that. I'm pretty sure it's called Ever After. And then there's the Feel Look. There's something called Beach City Boutique. Feel free to list any others that are new to the scene because it feels like so many have closed. And it used to be that, you know, when one closed, there'd be three more that opened. I didn't think that was happening, but maybe it's just I'm not in the loop anymore. So yeah, any that you want to share, and if you've done something from them, how did you find it? Was the quality good? Were they good drills? Were they trashy? Was the canvas nice? Was the glue nice? Did it lay flat? Anything and whatever you want to share. If you want to share the names of the places, that's fine. I can look them up. Don't bother trying to put a link. Facebook. YouTube hates it when you try to put links and comments. So if you just give me the name, I can look it up myself. That's okay. Or if you want to go into Facebook, you can post something in the Facebook group. I think Facebook lets you put links in, but I would rather you just tell me the name of it, even in Facebook, and I'll just go find it myself. I find that's easier for me anyway. I think that's everything that I wanted to tell you guys. So you can see here that I've made quite a bit of progress. I've just got this little section here of this yellow color, and then I've got two other yellow colors, and then this whole section is done, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. So maybe 45 minutes to an hour for me to do a whole section, which is pretty good. So that's why I like doing rounds more than squares when I'm trying to get something done in a hurry, because rounds just go that much faster for me. All right, that's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget the dogs. You guys begging? Oscar. Sable. She won't even look at me. Sable. What are you doing? Is that good? Whatever it is? Must be. Oh, I woke him up. Oscar's snoozing outside in the sun.